Welcome back, YouTube. Here doing an Epicurious look at for 3 chefs try to make mac and cheese with no recipe. Goodness gracious, help me. Oh God. Same ingredients. What the hell is this? That's specific. California garlic powder. The hell has Velveeta always managed to make its way into this shit? Why is there sushi rice? Look at this. There's sushi rice over here. Why? Cheese and rice. This is not Wizard of Time.
What are you making?
Shells, 3 cheeses. It's definitely mac and cheese.
I see mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
I love big shells. It like catches the cheese the best.
Elbows, number 81. It took them a lot of tries, but they got it right.
Ooh, evaporated milk. That'll be fun.
Why not a little bit of Velveeta, classic American cheese stuff?
No.
And from my crumbs, I
Hold
will
out the
use...
Velveeta. No. I do mac and cheese one of 2 ways. One, I just directly melt the cheese onto already cooked noodles and stir it up. The more fancy way that I do it is I make a bechamel sauce, which is when you use fat content, usually in like butter and mixed with flour. You have heated up milk, you add your salt, your nutmeg, and your ground black pepper, and then you add your cheese in and have that melt down until it's a sauce, you know, where it's nice and creamy and rich and incorporated. Oh, I don't even like Velveeta. It tastes like something trying to be cheese but not quite being there. It's just even thinking about it, just no. Ugh, I needed to burp. I like big shells and I will use elbow mac. Crumbs is only really for baking the mac.
This is what I'm going to use because I have so many at home. I don't even know what to do with them.
We're taking this over here. We're going to get started.
It's not all fitting on the tray.
I make mac and cheese for my daughters every day, all day. No, not all day.
I haven't made a lot of mac and cheese. In fact, I never do. But I have some ideas.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
So first, I'm going to start
It's
the
gonna
cheese
take you
sauce. I got my
45 minutes to
saucepan.
do this shit?
Perfect pan for sauce. And I add some butter. I'm going to do half a stick. And I'm going to throw some flour in.
Okay, he's
Not
doing the cream
measuring
sauce
anything.
phase.
This is probably a bad idea, but
Hi,
that's
Mama.
how we do it at home. I love mac and cheese. I don't really make mac and cheese. I know what's supposed to be done.
Heat
I just
up your
don't know
milk.
if I'm doing it right.
If you do not heat up your milk, you will cause the sauce to separate.
First thing I'm going to do is just cut my veggies and grate the cheese. This is all going to go into the cheese sauce that I'm making.
First, pasta in the boiling water. I'm using a little bit of kosher.
You don't put vegetables in the fucking mac. Ah! My southern is screaming. My southern is going to kill people. I don't want to ever see a grits episode now.
Kosher salt, and then I'm using this pasta cavatappi. Why I choose this? Because it looks fancy, and that's what professionals do. We use fancy stuff to impress people. Basically,
do it
it's
right.
like 2 elbows in one. So this.
I know,
have
but
all my ingredients here because
I was like, let's see, because I know they messed up like with the biryani, like to the point where Zephyr almost had a coronary. But it's mac and cheese. There aren't like 5,000 ingredients in mac and cheese. It's mac and cheese. What is this shit? This is Parmesan and possibly Pecorino. It has no business anywhere near the mac and cheese.
I'm gonna use them very quickly.
Yeah, there's some milk. Now, I don't know if I'm adding the right amount of things.
Oh, and you added it directly
I
into the
chose
pan.
cayenne pepper and garlic powder as my seasonings, along with some salt.
I'm gonna use jalapeno peppers and a red Fresno pepper because I love spicy things. I'm gonna do
It's
two
just-
different colors just so that it's a little more fun to look at. I'm gonna do garlic and some parsley. I'm gonna mix it in with the panko.
I'm actually
the
gonna add
fuck
in
are
some
you
of
doing?
the Velveeta. Velveeta got me through
oh.
my younger years.
What is this? Milk? What the? Oh, it's a cheese product. I'm not using this cheese product.
Velveeta
Thank you.
will add just
I'll
the
take
general
your
cheese
fucked up fettuccine
flavor.
over
It'll be
this.
something where you'll taste it and you'll be like, I recognize this. This is
Oh, see, it's separated.
food.
I'm gonna grate my cheeses. I'm gonna start with the Gruyere. We'll do the aged cheddar, and I'll probably finish off with the Parmesan. That's a good amount of cheese.
My pasta's in the water. Now it's time to make the sauce. We're gonna start with
Onions. I'm gonna sweat out my garlic and onions with a little bit of the butter, a little bit of salt.
Whew, this onion is spicy.
I'm gonna spend the entire thing like this. I finally know what it feels like. Okay. I'm okay. I'm
I'm gonna sweat the onions, and that's gonna add some sweetness. I'm gonna put some salt and some olive oil.
This looks pretty good. It looks
add oil.
awfully thick.
You need. Oh, what the hell is this? You need fat, but that's why you use the butter if you're doing a base sauce with milk or cream. Oh my god. Ow, my soul. What is this? It looks like dough. I'm glad I've lost my shit more times in the past. It's only 3 fucking minutes in.
Bigger than I was expecting. I don't want it to
Bigger.
be too much.
You cannot add cold milk to the pan. When you're doing the white sauce, you literally have one of the smaller pots heating up the milk, so when it puts in, it's not going to separate. It's going to be able to incorporate everything and mix the fats and everything with the
This might be a disaster, but you know what? I'm having fun.
I don't know if this is the way I should have
Why
done
does
it,
it
but
take
we'll see.
30
I really
minutes
think
for
like the
these
thing about
people?
cooking is, like,
45
to not
minutes
be
to cook
afraid,
this.
to just like try it, you know?
I'm gonna add garlic. My daughters, they don't love garlic, they don't love onion. So when I do this part, I kind of hide. I don't want them to like, I don't like onion, daddy. That's how you get vegetables into your kids, by lying to them. The garlic is just gonna make this pasta delicious. Because that's what the flavor is, you know? We're gonna put a little
No,
bit
the
of butter.
flavor's in the salt from the fucking cheese.
The nutmeg is gonna add the nutty flavor. Because, you know,
Nutmeg, yes.
nutty is good. So I want the nutmeg to release all the flavors into the butter.
Part of the bechamel
now,
sauce.
very important thing right here, we're gonna lower the heat. Remember, you control the heat. The heat doesn't
No, they
control
don't. I
you.
mean,
I'm going
recipes.
to add a little bit more
I don't
butter
need a
and some
recipe for
flour
this.
to make a roux, which will be a thickener to make this nice and creamy.
The flour is gonna make the sauce thicker.
I don't really measure anything. I kind of just eyeball it. I know
Use
that, like with
feel, yeah.
roux, you're supposed to get it to like sort of like smell like bread.
My feeling
and
says
then
I don't
you know
want
it's kinda
soggy
done.
onions in my friggin' mac.
Stir, and then we're gonna add some latte.
So I'm adding my evaporated milk, and I actually just read about this recently, that evaporated milk makes it creamier, so I'm gonna try it.
So
Or
we're
you
gonna
could
add the
try
milk
cream.
as we go, little by little. See, but you have to keep moving it, because otherwise you have
Yeah, because you
crumble
didn't heat up the fucking milk
sauce. So
beforehand.
we already cooked the flour, the sauce is getting thicker and thicker and thicker.
I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper,
Of course, black pepper.
and I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. I'm gonna add some fresh nutmeg into
You're gonna
the
grate
sauce.
your damn fingers. Drop the whole damn
my own
nutmeg in.
nutmeg.
I can hear my daughter be like, Daddy, is the food ready? I don't want the onion. Well, this is cooking. I'm gonna add a little bit of heat. Fresno has a peppery jalapeno taste, but without being too spicy.
And now I just need my elbow macaroni number 81.
Yeah, I don't know why you need so
I
much
like
time.
to use the larger shells because I think that it'll be a better way to catch the sauce.
It is
I definitely
usually.
prefer it actually to macaroni,
I like
which I know
shells.
is mac and cheese, but I think that the shells are going to be really, really great.
But
Pasta cooks for 5 minutes according to them. It cooks for 5 minutes. I don't know how to say that.
I am actually going to set the timer a little bit less than what it says on the package because I'm going to bake this in the oven as well, so I don't want it to get too overcooked.
Now I am checking in on my sauce. It's looking pretty good and thick. I tasted it and I feel like it needs a little more Velveeta. I don't know who else cooks like this, but I just kind of keep tasting things until it tastes like
God, if they did a
how my
grits
mouth wants it
episode,
to
I'm
be.
gonna
The
cry.
pasta is about to come out. Now, a ver, we want this al dente. If you see this white part right here in the middle, that means it's al dente.
Definitely al dente.
Now we're gonna.
I need a moment. Yes, the sauce is a paste. No, they don't have any idea what they're doing. They gave them 45 minutes to make mac. My very first cooking video I ever did, I did mac and cheese, and that shit was so velvety smooth. Oh my god. This hurts my soul. It was always, it's like, because I have to make for a lot of people, it's one of the big 16 servings boxes, and I would start the boil of the noodles, I'd start the warming up of the milk in the saucepan. Yeah, exactly. Waiting for the water to boil. You salt the water with the pasta, that's fine. But then you go butter, flour, your seasoning so it gets really incorporated into that, and then you start adding your cheese, and you can do this also with like the more commercially made Alfredo sauce type thing, but with that, of course, you do a mix of Parm Massag. You get the gist. White cheese is for the white sauce, but for this, it's cheddar. I hate Velveeta with a passion. But use cheddar for the mac with that, and it starts melting, and then as it melts, you add the hot milk to it little by little, so you don't make it too saucy, but you want a little watery when you first make the cheese sauce, because it's going to solidify more because of the roux, the powder, the flour in it. This hurts. This hurts my soul. And I did this to myself. Yeah, it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes. I don't know why they're adding onions and all this other stuff. Like, my son will add garlic powder at the end of it if he feels like it. Like, some people will add ketchup or whatever. A lot of people are doing things that make other people go, you know, if you put actual flavor in your stuff, then you shouldn't have an issue. But, to each their own, but add it afterwards.
Shut it off because we don't want this to be cooked anymore. We're gonna add the pasta with a little pasta water. Oof.
In other words, I don't feel like draining it all.
I'm gonna wait for the cheese to add it in the end because I don't want the cheese to break down.
I'm doing this double strain thing to make sure I get as much water out of this as possible.
Since I'm baking this, I want this to be nice and saucy. I don't want this to be all dry because otherwise it will break.
Time to add some cheese.
If you're doing a baked version, yes, saucy, but you want to make sure that whatever top you put onto that damn thing is tight. Like, you want that completely covered in actual cheese, not the sauce. And then add your breadcrumbs or whatever you're putting on top. Then bake it, and it seals all the moisture in and it can't evaporate out. It's basic physics.
I'm using Kraft sharp cheddar and Cabot extra sharp. I'm keeping it simple. I'm going like straight down the middle. You know what you expect
Simple is
from,
good.
you know, if you ever had a parent who didn't know how to cook.
Now I am ready to add the cheese. I'm gonna fold all of this in.
So I have H cheddar cheese, my Parmesan cheese. I think I need one more cheese. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna mix two cheddars. It's simple cheddar.
Cheddar
and
is fine, the parm has no
this
business in it.
Cheddar. Let's see how good it is. Oh, sharp, beautiful, sharp, delicious.
Originally, the term sharp for cheese didn't have anything to do with flavor, by the way. It had to do with how hard the cheese was.
You need a lot of cheese for this.
Sharp.
It's the only way.
Ooh, look at this. It is super gooey. Look at that.
Oh, looks like nuked instant mashed potatoes. Are you seeing this, Mama Ninja? Doesn't it look like somebody screwed up? Yeah, it looks like over-watered mashed potatoes from a box. This is not a cheese sauce. as lumpy as probably her vegetables. Oh, jeez. I'm okay.
It's so thick.
I looked at it. You don't want
It's
it.
gonna be good.
All right, let's check on my
It's
noodles.
gonna taste like flour.
I mean, they look, they look like noodles. All right, I'm gonna start taking my noodles out.
Now, I'm going to marinate the pasta with those cheeses.
Throw in
I
some
now pronounce you a
regular
hot
sharp
mess.
cheddar, and then we're gonna mix it around and let these cheddars melt. Look at that. Cheese
His
is melting up
doesn't look
beautifully. This
terrible.
looks really good right now.
I'm just mad about
Okay,
the
before we
Velveeta.
bake it, we're gonna make sure you try it. Oh my gosh.
On the rare occasion when I cook mac and cheese, I don't have fancy cheeses, and now I do. So I'm gonna choose to add a fancy cheese because I want to win. So I'm gonna go with the Gruyere. And when Chef Saul tastes mine and he's like, "Why is this so fancy?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just a thing I do. Don't worry about it."
So now I'm gonna add in my diced jalapeno peppers and
There's
Fresno chilies.
nothing-
I'm gonna sort of slowly fold in my sauce.
It's not a money
Okay.
shot. That's
It's sometimes takes a little muscle to cook. Who says that you're not working out a little bit?
oh,
So
you're
adding this all
gonna.
now together. And actually, I was thinking a little bit of fresh herbs would benefit this.
No,
So
you
the
need
really
more
is really nice in there.
I'm gonna add an egg yolk. The reason why I add an egg yolk, just in case the pasta gets overcooked, this will hold it together. Yeah, I'm crazy. So what? You don't want to add egg? Don't add egg. Let me be. Did I tell you how you live your life? No. This is how I eat my pasta.
I'm kind of glad Nathan can't see this.
This looks really good. Dare I say, perfect. And it's ready to go into the oven with some
I don't
breadcrumbs
like
to get baked.
Velveeta.
I have a baking dish right here. I'm gonna scoop my mac and cheese into there. I don't know how everybody
It's
else eats their mac and
overpriced
cheese,
for what
but I
it
like
is.
it. A lot of cheese, real sticky, real thick.
I'm going to place this into a buttered dish and spread it around evenly.
Now I'm gonna put this in a cast iron pan. I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese. Just a little bit more. And now, the Parmigiano Reggiano. This is gonna add,
Why
I will
do
say,
they keep
a
adding
salt element.
I have had the oven preheated to 375. I'm gonna pop this in there.
I got breadcrumbs, Italian style. I'm gonna add them to the macaroni to give it that authentic
sure all Italians are like,
flavor,
"Yes, we
just
use
to give it a little bit of a variety and
soup
texture.
brand
That might be a little too much,
breadcrumbs.
but you know what? When you mix it in, it's gonna be just right. Nothing can go wrong for me.
So I have
I
my
had it and I
panko,
got
and
sick
I
on it.
am just gonna add actually some dry spices now, and because I want everything to be spicy.
And my breadcrumbs. Ooh. Ooh.
See, when I was young, somebody got me a box of the Velveeta mac and cheese. And number one, I didn't like the taste. I hated the texture. And then I actually got food poisoning from it. Same reason why for a very long time I didn't have any popcorn cedar butter, because I got food poisoning from that. So it's a personal experience thing that just permanently turned me off to it. It's gross to me, and that's just how it is.
Like I said, I don't really measure anything. I just kind of go with what I think looks good, and then I'll just taste it.
Oh, wait. There is more. It needs a little color.
After the mac and cheese has been in the oven, I'm gonna spread this on top and then toast it in the broiler for about 2 minutes. Oh, it looks good. I'm gonna try one. It's really good. I'm really happy. This will just add a nice crunch to it at the top. I'm gonna kind of watch it just to see how long it takes to toast. I'm sort of unfamiliar with what it's gonna look like, so I'll take a look and see how it goes.
Got it in the baking dish. This is ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna put it in at 350 for, a while.
I'm gonna broil this for like 3, 4, 5 minutes. You have a nice caramelized crust. Then dinner is ready.
Guess what? It's time to get my mac and cheese out of the oven. It's ready.
It looks so good. I'm really excited. It's exactly the kind of browning that I wanted it to have.
I wanted the breadcrumbs to get browner. They didn't get as brown as I would have liked, but I didn't want to
There's a
overcook
fat
the mac and
into it.
cheese itself,
That's
which is
why.
the star of the show, so I had to pull it out. I think they'll still be nice and crunchy.
Hello, there you are.
It's gonna be sandy, is
Look
what
at
it is.
this. Look at this. Coming through. Caliente. It looks like a mac and cheese cake. Now I just have to plate this and eat it.
And then we go into the competition. It's not a competition, but anyway. My plating method is called the slop. I learned it at Le Cordon Bleu. I just take the spoon, I take it out, and I just slop it.
I want some of the crispy stuff. That looks awesome. I'm so happy with it.
Oof. Oops. Sorry.
You eat your food all over the kitchen. You don't actually have to taste it.
Wow, look at you guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey. Alright, yo, let's have it up.
All right, judges, I've prepared for you a mac and cheese with breadcrumbs.
Sounds like what I did.
Well, here's the thing. What this guy did was he didn't add an extra layer of cheese on top, so there was nothing for the breadcrumbs to soak the fat of when it was melting. So that's why it ended up being pale as all hell. This guy got browning, she got browning, he didn't because he didn't put any cheese on top.
Yeah, alright, so see, I'm like a chef.
You have kids?
I don't have kids.
Well, I think you're ready to.
Yeah, you like
Yeah, I mean, they would be very happy with this.
We're gonna try mine now. I can't wait for you guys to try this.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah?
Oh, my God.
Yeah?
I love
Yeah.
the
Oh
spicy.
my god,
It's my
I
kind of
love
mac
the
and cheese.
spice.
This is amazing.
This
you
makes
did
me feel
pretty good.
so good.
Alright, my turn. I make this for my daughters all the time. Also, I did a Ritz breadcrumb.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know what to do with those.
And even though it looks spicy, but I don't think it's spicy.
It's really good.
That's so good.
And it's like perfect creamy.
And I use the double elbow pasta because it looks like that one,
But it's twice as good. I don't know about you guys, but I really appreciate mac and cheese on a new level now. You cook it a lot, but maybe for us.
Yeah, I think
make
I
you
might add
feel-
this.
You putting it in the repertoire?
Yeah.
I probably won't. I'm going back to the box after this, but I'm real proud of myself.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, more torture. Okay. I mean, I know I'm not a professional chef or anything, but... Ow. Why? Okay, we saw the fried rice thing with the Uncle Roger. I'm trying to find things that I actually cook at home. Steak dinner, tacos. Sure, let's see how steak works.
Whoever is going to eat this, congratulations. I know I'm gonna eat it. Congratulations!
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm a professional chef, and
Hi,
this
Frank.
is a $500 steak dinner.
Why?
Hi, I'm Lorenzo. I'm a home cook, and this is gonna be a $16 steak dinner.
That wasn't a steak?
Oh, pardon you.
Coca-Cola, huh?
I mean, this is just somebody went out in the forest and went nuts. This says it is Frank's, and I have to tell you, first off, poor handwriting, Frank.
So for my meal, I was planning on a more high-end restaurant feel to it. I had a butter-based ribeye steak.
Holy smokes, look at that! I don't think I've even ordered that before.
I had fondant potatoes
Fondant, but what does that mean?
with caviar and creme fraiche.
Huh? Oh, caviar. Ugh, caviar.
Some bordelaise sauce with black truffles.
What is this bordelaise? What? What is a what is that?
And some broccolini with wild mushrooms.
And this is something I wore at prom. What the fudge, you guys? I feel slightly evil. It's like we broke into a 5-star Michelin restaurant and I just grabbed everything I possibly could and said, let's have some fun.
With Lorenzo's recipe, I have a little more simpler ingredients and maybe something that's a little more commonplace in your kitchen. Flank steak, Coca-Cola, low-sodium soy sauce, garlic, ginger.
I want to know where he got flank steak for that price, because the ones at my store are like $18 for that size. This is my $16 one. This must have been, when was this? Never mind.
Broccoli, some chili flake, russet potatoes, scallions, sour cream, and cheddar. So these ingredients might be a little simpler, but I think that I can elevate them and make them a little better. If I had to guess, this would probably cost about $25 to $30. Oh, 16, really?
I think you were
That's
right,
cheaper than I
though.
thought.
It's a little intimidating because it's really fancy schmancy chancy. I mean, it's a few $100 that I don't have.
The fondant potatoes I plan to make sound really fancy, and I hope Lorenzo doesn't get scared off by that.
Why? Salt, pepper, butter, potato, simple. What's wrong with you? I like how I'm looking at Brian's recipe. It's actually just ingredients. It doesn't tell me step-by-step stuff. I'm like, I think I'm just looking for some help.
And it's kind of just that next step up from just roasting potatoes in a pan.
I'm a little clueless on a couple of things. Is there a chance that I could maybe ask somebody for a little help? Rosemary!
Rose trout.
How am I? I'm panicking a little bit, actually. I feel like I'm on an island and I just drew help in the sand. Can you?
You're wondering I'm eating a violet
Fondant
crumble.
potatoes.
They're delicious. What you're gonna do is you're gonna trim off the very edges and you're going to cut them in half and peel them. They're gonna look kind of like scallops and sear.
What is this connection problem they have?
And you're going
This
to
is crap
take them
Skype.
and flip them, sear the other side,
Okay.
and then you're gonna add a stock, like a chicken stock or a vegetable stock,
Okay.
and finish them in the oven.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. I appreciate it. Take care. It just sounds more complicated, but it's potatoes. You know, I can do it. Bing. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so I've got all my lovely russet potatoes, pretty much like little stools, and I'm gonna sear both sides.
Originally, Lorenzo planned for this to be a regular baked potato. So what we're gonna do is twice baked potatoes. A little more fat, a little more flavor, just a little more deliciousness, okay?
I
Baked
wanna
potato
go-
butter's great. Twice baked potato with cream cheese and cheddar is even better.
All right, so I have the garlic. I'm just gonna crush it. I have the ingredients, and I know. Just doesn't tell me how to put it together. That's the mystery.
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bake it. I'm gonna poke a few holes in it just to let steam escape so my skin doesn't rupture. I'm gonna wrap it in foil.
I pretended somebody had bitched about my
I'm
food.
gonna bake this potato about 350, 45 minutes to an hour.
I already hear Rosemary saying that's not long enough. It has to be darker, and you didn't sear it long enough. And this is a Gigantosaurus tongs. What the heck?
So this potato was baked for about 50 minutes. When you squeeze, you can see there's a little bit of give. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the potato, slice it in half, and very carefully, with not trying to break the skin, I'm going to take
Spoon it
the
out.
center of the potato out. I want to leave a little bit of a wall there, so it's not just skin, just so that it holds together. And I'm just gonna kind of like mash this up a little, just so I don't have any big chunks.
Yeah, see, I should have turned it up all the way. That's more like it. Oh, there you go. Hello. That is, all right, Rosemary would be happy with that. Okay.
You gotta cook it all the way around, baby.
I'm
It's
add
gonna be
all my
raw in the
flavors
middle.
to this. A little bit of sour cream. Well, maybe not a little bit, maybe a lot. Salt and pepper, definitely. We're gonna grate a little cheese. I got some nice cheddar here. Don't be skimpy with the cheese. It's gonna add some richness, a little bit of sharpness to this. I'm gonna use scallions as a flavoring for this. This is one of those ingredients that people will do this. They'll cut the root end off. They'll either use all the white and throw away the green, or use all the green and throw away the white.
I use all of
I
it.
use the whole thing. All of it's good. And we're gonna mix it really well. Always taste your food. Delicious. At this point, you can probably just scoop it in with a spoon. I'm gonna use a pastry bed, okay? It gives me a little more direction. I can make it exactly the way I want it. It doesn't look like you didn't care and just kind of flopped it on there. The pastry bed gives a little more of an elegant feel to it. So at this point, we're gonna put them in the oven, and we're gonna let the top get a little brown, let them warm through, and then we'll garnish later.
I need to turn this down because I don't want to burn my butter. I'm not sure how much butter is in here, but I would imagine, yeah, of course, you add the butter first. I'm guessing that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, 4. Oh, I'm going for it. It's like a stick of butter, I think. Let's let that go. Oh, let me put my scoops. Yeah. Oh, that's happening. Potatoes and butter. You win. Rosemary. House. We are moving on to the sauce that I have no idea how to pronounce. Bordelaise sauce. Thank you, Frank.
In Lorenzo's recipe, he marinates the steak in the coke and the soy sauce. I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the marinade stuff and make a glaze out of it. So if you want to dip into it later, you can dip into it. If you want to just taste a nice piece of meat, taste a nice piece of meat. Hopefully no one shook this up. So in places that I've seen Coca-Cola used in marinades and baking, it usually comes from the fact that there was sugar rationing during World War II. So I'm going to cook this down, basically just dumping everything to the pot and letting it reduce down. And I'm going to look for this. Right now the bubbles are going to be really small and kind of fluttery. And then once this starts to get a little thicker, you're going to see bigger bubbles that take a little longer to burst. You want to just reduce it until it starts to thicken rather than till it's dry. If it gets dry, it's going to burn.
Alright, now I'm going to do the red wine reduction. So I need to reduce this about a cup. Frank says it's about a cup, a little bit more than a cup. I'm going to add my shallots, fresh thyme, and bay leaf. Easy peasy. So far, so good. Ow, no, just kidding. Let's put a couple of these in. We can also... This looks like a very rich sauce. The color's fantastic.
It's very rich.
Not quite sure how thick it's supposed to do.
It's a sauce.
Be. Earth calling rosemary. Come in, rosemary. What did she say? Can I ask you one more thing if you have time? Okay. Sauce. I have sauce that he wants me to make. I'm telling you what, Frank is not getting the Christmas card this year. I'm telling you. It calls for 1 cup of wine. How much do I reduce that?
So stick a spoon in and then run your finger down the back.
Oh.
If it makes, that's a nice thick enough sauce.
Okay. If not, worst case scenario, just drink the wine when I'm done. That was the test she wanted me to do, the old back of a spoon test.
And if it leaves a nice clean line, I know my sauce is thick enough.
Tilt the coat of the spoon. Thanks, Rosemary. Turn this off, and all I have to do now is shave some black truffle. Oh, wow. Never had one of these guys in my presence. It's earthy.
With truffles, for the most part, they're best when they're freshly sliced on top of things.
Let's see, how much does he want us
Be
to
careful.
do? Oh, the whole thing? Wow.
There's truffle products that have kind of those truffle flavorings in them, but when you get a fresh truffle, it should be sliced at the table in front of your guests.
Well.
It's not just for the flavor, it's for the show as well.
It tastes expensive. Alright, guys. Portoli sauce with black truffles.
The next step is to do our steak.
This steak is enormous. I mean, you guys.
Now with the ribeye that I planned, the high-end ribeye, I had planned on sauteing it in a cast iron pan. The way I'm going to cook this flank steak is similar to the ribeye. I really just want to get a nice kind of caramelized coating on it. So I'm going to season the steak first. A fair amount
I'll
of
just dump it
salt
in
and
sauce.
black pepper. With the salt,
Every
we go
high-end
fairly
chef's going,
heavy.
no!
Liberally. So
You're
I mean,
liberal.
it's hot. Like, super hot, you guys. This is the nicest skillet I've ever seen in my life. I like this.
You'd
Christmas
fuck it up in
presents,
2
please.
seconds.
The key to this is that you don't want the oil to splash on you. So I'm just going to drop it in the pan away from me.
Here we
Flank
go,
steak
guys.
is really tricky.
And I'm going to let it stay there. Leave it alone.
Let it go.
This is going to take a few minutes.
Send these smoke signals. Dinner's almost ready, people. Come and get it.
I'm going to flip it away from me. Swirl it around so I have a nice amount of fat. If you look at the steak, it has a beautiful crust on it now. It's going to add a ton of flavor to this steak. It's going to add some texture as well. You're going to get a little crunchy bits.
Let's just throw these in. We smashed it.
What I'm going to do to check temperatures, I'm not necessarily
I
going
don't
to use
think
a
he's
thermometer.
as amateur as
If
he
I push on
lets
this piece
his
of meat
cut
and it
skills
gives me
were a
some
little too
spring
good.
back, that means that it's cooking. If I push on this piece of meat and it leaves a dent, that means it's pretty much raw in the center. So this I know is still pretty rare here, and here it's kind of cooking up.
You guys. I think I'm teary-eyed a little bit. It's so beautiful. I'm crying. It's so pretty.
Lorenzo's issue is going to be that's a really thick cut of steak. And usually with those, getting the right temperature is a little more of guesswork. So Lorenzo might want to use a thermometer for that.
Ooh. Medium rare. Perfect.
So I'm going to let this steak rest for about 10 minutes.
I really want to dig in and eat this right now, but you need to let it rest.
If I slice it now, all the juice is going to flow out.
Be patient. it'll be worth it. Let's move on to the broccolini.
The expensive version, I was going to use broccolini. We have a rich steak, a really rich potato dish, and the broccolini is going to have just a little bit of bitterness to cut that. Broccoli tastes really great by itself, needs a little salt, pepper, maybe a little garlic, but everyday broccoli is delicious if you treat it right. So normally people take the broccoli, cut the head off, and everything else gets thrown in the garbage. What I like to do is I save the stems. So if you're going to serve the
make a
stems,
sauce?
you have to peel them. Because otherwise it's a little on the tough side, and it sometimes needs a little help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some garlic and a little bit of ginger. A lot of times people will boil broccoli, and boiled broccoli, I mean, there's nothing worse than that, right? It smells bad, it tastes bad, it gets too soft. I like to roast broccoli. It adds a little bit more depth of flavor to it. And I'm going to use some of Lorenzo's ingredients here to make that just a little bit better. A little bit of chili flake, just to let him know it was there. I'm going to use a little bit of soy sauce, I'm going to use a little bit of salt. Both of them have salt in them, but salt kind of gives a pure, plain flavor, where soy sauce kind of gives a richness.
Because of the
I'm going to throw this
umami.
into an oven about 350 for about 15 minutes. You'll see the broccoli starts to break down. It'll start to get a little bit of caramelization or charring on top.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Sometimes on very rare occasions, I'll use the stems, like if I've steamed them really long, and put them in and make a cream of broccoli soup. I don't like wasting anything. But what I was gonna say, there's a difference between, because there's vegan soy sauce and then there's regular soy sauce, and the difference is anchovies. Just wanted to point that out. Because some people are like, what's the difference? And tamari is gluten-free, as we saw earlier.
And that's what I want. I want to take it out of the oven when it's just a little bit crispy.
I'm actually going to take it out, stopping the cooking process by submerging it into ice water. Next, mushrooms. I just have to start seeing what these are. These are great.
Lorenzo should make sure that he gets those mushrooms nice and caramelized. Any mushrooms that kind of go in a pan and they just kind of sit there and boil, not good. The texture's not really great. You want those mushrooms to be just slightly crispy when you put them on the plate.
These are very thin, delicate mushrooms, so I think it's okay to add whatever I need to add to finish this off. My broccolini looks good to me. Let's try it. Wow!
Imagine if you hate
This
mushrooms.
is lovely. Lovely, lovely jubbly is all I have to say.
Plating.
And wow. It's heavy. It hurt my wrist. It's so heavy.
The most important thing for this piece of steak is to cut
Those arms, that did not hurt his wrist. I love mushrooms too. My son hates them.
against the grain. That's because if you cut it with the grain, it's just going to be super chewy.
It looks so good. Does it look good?
When I'm plating a dish, I'm usually looking for a little textural difference, a little height difference, just to make it interesting. If you just throw everything on a plate flat, it's kind of boring. So I'm going to kind of just prop things up a little, do a little chef wizardry, and try and make it just look a little bit nicer than what kind of grandma would have put on the plate.
Creme fraiche, caviar. Ooh, it's the green caviar. It's a little bit of chives.
Yeah, it's Osetra, I believe.
Has shaved fresh Parmesan.
So we have our beautiful steak propped up on our broccoli stems. I got a little bit of that soy and Coca-Cola glaze, and that's my take on Mr. Lorenzo's dish. There's a little piece left on my board. That's the chef's secret. We eat all the ends. We make staff meal out of it sometimes, but that's my snack, okay?
Truffles and
Oh, he didn't shave him fresh on there.
That's it. It looks good, man. If I do say so myself. Steak.
Okay, let's see how everybody did.
Hey,
Right.
how you doing?
Skill
It is
versus
an honor
money.
and a pleasure.
Pleasure
I'm
to
telling
meet
you right now,
Pleasure to
sir.
meet you. Oh, look at that.
That's good. Oh, that is my potato. Oh, it's a twice.
Yeah.
Between.
So, we took a little chef's poetic license with
Yes,
this,
you-
right? We made like a little glaze with the cocoa and the soy sauce.
Oh, very good.
The
Very
broccoli
good.
we roasted with some ginger and soy, and then we did a twice baked potato. So I'm gonna give it a taste with this sauce and a little bit of mushroom on there.
Okay. I don't even know what kind of mushroom that is.
I think it's champion. Delicious. Your seasoning is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man, great.
Really?
Sauce is on point.
I never had a sauce like this before.
It's one of those classic French sauces. You know, you would think it'd be too rich, but it actually is a good foil
It
for the steak.
looks like it would be so
No.
rich. Because the color, look at the color.
It's a great
It's
compliment.
different. That is good.
Let's taste yours now.
Okay, let us get a little bit of this and your...
I'm nervous too now. My heart's beating. I'm a little worried.
What is the reduction? Is this like
This
the soy
is the
sauce?
soy sauce, Coca-Cola, ginger garlic.
This tastes like mama. Well, my mama made the ginger and soy sauce. They're so nice together.
And we roasted the broccoli with the ginger and garlic and a little bit of chili flake
Baked in the oven.
baked in the oven, yeah.
Oh my god. And it's a different texture because you do it in the oven. Nice.
I'm going
nice.
in. I'm
yeah,
gonna try
yeah,
it.
Frank. Oh my gosh.
See
I
how
love
we
it.
did.
It's yummy. The sauce is really delicious.
It really compliments. It almost tastes a little smoky, believe it or not. You know, I was a little nervous about Coca-Cola. I saw Coca-Cola, and now like I'm gonna add that to my tool belt. You know, you don't think of Coca-Cola as an ingredient that you use in really good cooking, but that's delicious.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah.
It's like that's not how I intended it, but okay.
Ah,
That was fun.
that was really fun and delicious. Eat up, you guys.
I think I like it better when you have like the three chefs tried to make. Oh, they have carbonara. Let's see how they mess up carbonara. Epicurious, let's see if they have like a different level one. Okay, that's different. We'll just do this one.
Okie dokie, okie dokie. Thank goodness I'm ambidextrous.
I do, I'm ambidextrous. If you can't hear, it's storming here. Oh my god. So, I make carbonara. I have the Roman recipe for carbonara. I have one ingredient that I have to replace because I don't have the money for the guanciale. I have to either use bacon or I use pork gel, but either way, it's always smoked because FDA laws and everything. So cured meats, which in the traditional guanciale is a peppered, just like a dry aged pork gel. So this bit, and you know it's not a I don't know why there's wine on this. There's no wine. If they use cream, they really fucked up. So let's see what they do, because it's literally supposed to be you cook up like slices of the guanciale, you cook it slowly so it renders down and then it crisps out. You toss your noodles in it like extra thick spaghetti. There's a word for it and it's eluding me, but it starts with a V. You toss it in that, and then you add your mostly egg yolk, but egg and pecorino parmigiano with or pecorino with black pepper. If you don't have, well, guanciale has pepper, but if you don't have guanciale, then you add black crushed, you add black pepper to it, and you toss it around, and it just turns silky smooth and just delicious. And you top with the crispy bits of the guanciale. But in my case, like the last time I made it, I had to do bacon version, so I feel bad.
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm a professional chef, and these are my $174 pasta carbonara ingredients.
Why? And why are there peas? And this is cream. No business, no business. I mean, you can use this noodle for carbonara, but usually it's a thick spaghetti. Lorenzo, you fucked up.
I am Lorenzo, and I'm a home cook, and these are my $10 pasta carbonara ingredients.
And that was like that jarred.
This guy.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Peas and cream.
That is some cheese.
Is it friggin' wine?
I was planning on making a homemade Kitara pasta carbonara with a 24-month aged Parmesan cheese. I had some double O.
It's pecorino. You need the pecorino. Don't make me get Vincenzo on you.
Flour and some farm fresh eggs to make my own pasta by hand.
I've never made pasta in my life other than boiling the water and shoving it right in.
I had some guanciale, which is
Just shoving it right in. Oh, I can't even flop back because the cat's behind. See, guanciale, what did I say? See, uncured pork jowl with black pepper. Just as I said before we started the video. See, I know stuff. I know things. I don't know why there's olive oil in this. You shouldn't need it. Wrong. This is not needed. This is just trying to be extra fancy.
super fancy bacon and some premium
not
Parmesan
bacon.
and pecorino cheese.
Okay, let's get something straight. It's pork jowl. Bacon comes from the belly, not the face.
Wow, that is... You're stinky.
Along with a lovely olive oil and an even lovelier red wine.
Am I putting wine in this?
Why?
It was going to be rich, creamy, and absolutely spectacular.
Okay, some no-nos about carbonara. You will get Italian people screaming if you put this in carbonara. Cream is a big giant no-no. Peas is a no-no. Parmesan with the pecorino I guess is okay, but mostly just want pecorino. I don't know why there's wine, and I don't know why there's olive oil. Because all the oil that you need is from the fat that's going to be rendered down from the guanciale.
With Lorenzo's recipe, I have some ingredients you might find in your pantry or your local grocery store. These may be simple ingredients, but with a little technique and a little chef magic, I can make it beautiful. If I had to guess, this would probably cost around $10. I'm the one that does the grocery shopping. I know the groceries.
If I had to guess, this would cost about...
There is no way that cheese costs that little. Why is the olive oil more expensive than the cheese? Do you people not know how to shop? The pecorino I'd believe because it's like $7 for a good sized wedge where I'm at. Super special eggs. See, I told everybody, $30 for the guanciale.
$222? Well, that's a very expensive plate of pasta.
You should see how much it costs to make original
This is Frank's recipe
friggin'
book.
Alfredo.
No GPS whatsoever, no connect the dots, no...
In like the original fettuccine, you literally make it with a little hot pasta water, the freshly made noodles, and you put it inside the open cheese wheel and then toss it around till it's creamy and you can put it on the plate. Those cheese wheels are a couple grand.
Oh, ABCs?
Lorenzo, remember, this pasta is not all that hard.
Pasta carbonara is a pretty simple dish, but I don't know about this situation.
Worry about your technique. Don't worry about so much the ingredients.
This is the part where I call
It isn't
Rose? Rose? Rose?
Actually, Lorenzo, you're on your own this time.
You're joking.
Rose couldn't make it today, so time to leave the nest, little chickadee.
What the fudge? Yes, let's do it. Yes, let's do it. Okay. Hey, you all. The biggest challenge right off the bat is homemade spaghetti. I usually just scan it in the grocery. Boop.
I'm gonna have Lorenzo do this granny style. And by granny style, I mean he's gonna make a pile of his flour.
Now we've got
Make a well in the
Montezuma.
middle, dump
He's
the
gonna
eggs
make a
in.
volcano. We're gonna crack our eggs in there, a little bit of salt, and then we're gonna whisk our eggs with a fork. We don't want our
And then once
volcano erupting.
Volcano save.
Once we get to a point where the eggs aren't going to run out anymore, we start to bring our flour in, and then we start to knead.
And make
Never
sure
done
you
this
make
before.
it rest.
Fairly simple so far.
It needs a 10-minute rest.
And we're going to knead our dough until it's nice and smooth, like my bald head.
That's cute as heck.
When we knead the flour, we're really working the gluten, and the gluten is really tough. And this is why we let the pasta rest for about 20 minutes, so that it's easier to roll out, and we get nice kind of long strands of spaghetti.
I'm gonna let it rest for a while.
From
Taking
Lorenzo,
a
I have
vacation.
some peas and Parmesan. When carbonara came across the big ocean, people decided they want to put peas in it. And I'm going to have a little fun with it. I'm going to dehydrate them both. This is going to be the topping for my finished dish. Like a little bit of a garnish, a little bit of sprinkle, a little bit of flair. Basically what a dehydrated does is it takes the moisture out of things with a small amount of heat and some fans. Give it a shake
To be-
to get it nice and
To be
flat
fair, there's
and
not a lot
even.
of
Get my peas onto the
dehydration
mat
needed
as
for
well.
that
These are
Parmesan.
frozen peas. I'm going to put them in one single layer because if they're on top of each other, they're not going to dry evenly. And then these puppies are going to go into my dehydrator. Dehydration takes a while, so that's why we're doing it first. This is going to be in there about 6 hours.
My pasta dough has been resting for a while. I need to roll it out. First off, let me flour my table here. Okay. Ooh, that's a nice little bite it took out of that. Okay. Let's see what to do.
Flour your.
Trying to work this. It's a workout. I think this is good. I mean, it is a very thin sheet. I'm gonna do another one. Hello. I don't know if you're supposed to do it like this at all. I have no idea. Pasta. Let's cut these out.
So I'm going to have a little fun today and play with the whole idea of carbonara.
I mean, it needs to be
I'm
a
gonna
thick
make
pasta,
a
but-
carbonara frittata. Classically, a frittata is a baked omelet. It's going to be like carbonara, but in a pie cut.
Frittata. A carbonara frittata sesame breakfast with a fucking pasta in it. I'm probably smooshing my lipstick all over the place because of all the face palms, but
Slice. Makes sense, right? One thing you want to make sure when you cook dry pasta, you want the water to be salty, not so salty that it's not edible, but you want it to be sea salty. And I want it to be at a full rolling boil. If it's not boiling, it's going to clump together and stick together. Everybody into the pool. Rigatoni is one of my favorite cuts of pasta. I like the bite it has. I like that the sauce kind of
It's
gets
the eye
stuck
twitch that
inside of
makes
it,
you
too.
laugh.
Until it comes back
Jesus.
to a boil, you gotta keep it stirring to keep it separate and so it doesn't stick to the bottom. This is gonna take approximately 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay, may I look? On top of smoky. What the? What? I thought I was gonna have a cranker. Oh, I just press it down. A la guitarra. Okay, I see. I'm just gonna get started.
The guitarra is a contraption that has guitar strings. That's where it gets the idea.
Flour liberally. Yeah, I don't know.
And what you're going to do is you're going to take your flat pasta sheet, put it on top, and you get something that looks like a rolling pin, and you push it through. Cool.
it's so short though.
Cool. Wow! Homemade spaghetti a la guitarra. Get out of town. That's awesome! How fun is that?
I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll admit that. Stop touching
How
its
do you
food.
test pasta? You take a piece of pasta, and you test it, right? This still has a little bit of a white ring in it. It's a little before al dente, but I'm okay with that because
Al
the pasta's
dente.
going to sit for a minute, and it's going to continue to cook.
Not Dante.
Strain
This
it
isn't
out,
Dante's Inferno.
Give it a quick rinse just to kind of slow down the cooking. All the Italians out there, don't get upset with me. Normally you don't want to put oil on pasta because the sauce won't stick. But I'm not saucing this pasta. I'm making it into a frittata. So I'm not worried about the oil. Oil's going to have flavor and it's going to stop my pasta from sticking together and getting to be clumpy. And we're just going to give it a
I'm
quick
mad and
toss
I'm not
so it
even
doesn't stick
Italian.
together. This method that I'm doing is totally different than you would for normal carbonara, right? This is Frank going off on a tangent. It's going to be okay.
It looks like got some pork jowl.
Guanciale is actually the jowls of the pig that are cured. Guanciale is salty, fatty, and it's traditionally what we use in carbonara.
Cured meat has a lot of salt, spices on it that you're supposed to take off, I believe.
I like to cut my guanciale into lardon, which is a French term for kind of thick matchsticks. I don't
This
want it
is
just to be
proper.
a flavoring. I want it to be a nice component of the dish that gives you some like nice heartiness. I like to start with just a little bit of olive oil in my pan. I'm going to throw those pieces of guanciale.
if you're cooking it slow, like low to medium heat, you don't need the olive oil. It will take care of itself. And it's chunky enough it's not going to get stuck. So when it renders down, it gets chewy and crispy at the same time. And then you have all the fat to roll your shit around.
In there.
Wow, it smells so good already.
Render them out until they're just slightly brown on the outside, and we've got a lot of fat in the pan. He's going to save the guanciale that's cooked, and he's saving the fat, because the fat's going in there too. Fat equals flavor.
That's why all the
Turn
people
heat
enjoy
off and
food.
Move on to the next step.
Lorenzo gave me bacon. Carbonara needs to have some sort of pig product. Bacon works for me. I'm going to use a little olive oil just to start my bacon out. This is just a personal preference of mine. I'm just going to cut my bacon into nice strips. A little thicker because I want to see the bacon in my dish. Right into my pan.
Stop with
I'm
the
gonna
olive
use
oil and everything.
I'm using the bacon. I'm going to use the fat. I'm also going to use the pan. Think the bacon's good. It's sitting in its fat, and I'm going to leave it in its fat, so it's going to carry over, cook a little. Move it to a cooler spot on my stove, and just let it sit in the pan until we're ready to make this.
Just randomly stir the shit
Okay,
floating
so
around.
I'm going to start prepping my sauce, and I have these lovely chunks of cheese, Parmesan Reggiano, and this is the pecorino. I'm just going to take a chunk off here. I'll probably need more, but for now, let's do that. Wow. Oh, that smelled.
Pecorino on the floor.
Okay, this is the 24-month.
I know you're supposed to season the
aged
pan, but I don't
Parmesan.
think that you're supposed to season the floor.
That is delicious.
Mmm.
Lorenzo sent me cream for this. Cream is not something that normally goes into carbonara.
Thank you.
That creaminess comes from the technique, not from actually using milk product or cream in your dish. So what I decided to do is make a custard. That'll be the base of our frittata. First thing I'll do
I'm not
is
keen on the
crack my
frittata
eggs.
idea,
I think
but
I'm the eggs. First off, 2 holes. 1.
if I accidentally cut out, it's because of the storm outside.
I'm probably not going to use all this cream. I don't want it to stop my custard from setting. So I'm going to add about half right now. Nice couple of big pinches of salt. Lorenzo sent me pre-ground black pepper. I tend not to use this in my house. I find when you grind your own pepper, you get more fragrance, you get a little more heat. So I'm going to add a little extra black pepper just to give it a little like oomph, right? And what we got to do now is break up our yolks and blend this really well.
I'm going to whisk these together.
There it is. That's our custard. Nice and peppery.
Okay, so this portion is complete.
Because Lorenzo was so generous with the cream, I'm going to make a garnish with it. This is going to be a savory black pepper whipped cream. You got to try it, right? We got to
He's
throw it
just
out there.
being
I'm
fancy
going
and
to
shit,
season it
that's
up lightly.
fine.
I want the sweet cream to kind of come through. Right, you can see my cream
I'm
is
not-
starting
it's just
to
a
bubble
frittata,
away. I'm going to shut
as
it
far as
off
I'm
and
concerned.
add a nice, generous helping of my black pepper. I'm just going to let this steep.
It's
for
going to
about
give you
5
the
minutes.
runs
We'll
frittata.
extract some of those black pepper flavors and some of the floral notes of the
There's
black
way
pepper,
too much black
as well
pepper.
as a little bit of heat. Let's get this strained out. If there's a few black pepper flecks in there, or if it has a little color in it, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's get this in the fridge and chill it completely.
I guess I'm supposed to toast some peppercorns. Let's do about a tablespoon or so. Let's see.
You're going to toast your peppercorns because when you toast them, it brings out some of those nice essential oils and makes them a little more.
You know, black peppercorns are actually the nearly burnt versions of capers. Capers are green peppercorns that have been pickled.
Fragrant and toasty.
Okay, I can smell the
Almost done.
pepperiness coming off of this. I think it's done. It's a really quick toast. We are going to put this in. It smells fantastic, you guys.
My pepper infused cream.
See, I know a few things
is
too.
completely chilled. I got myself a cold bowl. Let's whip it up. Just throw it in there.
Whip
Make
it.
sure, like,
Whip it
if there's
good.
any sort of flecks in the bottom, if there's too many
Da-na-na-na.
flecks, you can
Da-na-na-na.
just leave them there. A whisk is meant to produce bubbles. So if I tilt my bowl like this,
Yes, this is why I
what do you
have
see? Lots of bubbles,
mixer.
right? It's almost like an up and over where you're seeing lots of air bubbles. We're getting nice and fluffy. All right, I think we're there. Put my whisk in, form a peak. See how the peak points up? Firm peaks or stiff peaks. So our black pepper whipped cream is
know, I had
done.
to
Let's
look
put
way
it
at
in the
that.
fridge until we're ready to plate.
Here we go. Wow, this is old school, isn't it? I'm just gonna add half of this. I'll save a little bit later. I love adding more pepper to my carbonara, but let's go half for now. It's not even cooked yet, you guys, and this looks fantastic.
Because you only use
Really,
yolks.
the next step is me getting the pasta cooking and putting the stuff together.
Our peas and cheese are done. They've been in here for about 6 hours. Look at that.
For those that
There's
don't
little
know, I
nuggets
don't
of
like peas.
happiness. And let's check out the cheese. The cheese is a little drier. It still has a little bit of the fat to it. That's what I'm looking for. I want a little bit of kind of salt crunch to this. Now I have my peas. I really just want to kind of beat them up a little, and so they're not going to break
Veggie
anyone's teeth.
abuse.
I don't really want it to be a dust. I just want it to be a nice crunchy kind of bite at the end. Alright, that looks sufficiently cracked open.
Yes,
Let's
it
go right
does look
into this
sufficiently
bowl.
cracked.
And here we have it. Dehydrated peas and dehydrated cheese are garnish for our
Because that's what you
carbonara
think when you
I
think
am
frittata,
presenting
right?
you my mise en place.
Get your mise en place together.
Mise en place.
Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to stop to have to go get a pair of tongs.
What I have here is, first of all, my boiling water, which I will salt with a fancy sea salt, the ocean, and the sea.
The fancy sea salt. It's so extra. Why? It's just salt. I use coarse sea salt making my bread.
Here we go. Oh, look at that.
Time to assemble.
He's
our
never seen
carbonara
boiling water
frittata.
before.
Say that 10 times fast. Alright, let's get our custard in the bowl. I'm going to add pasta. I don't think I'm going to use it all. Bacon with all the fat. Don't wash this pan. Put it aside just like this. Let's give this a stir. And then we're going to put in a nice helping of cheese.
I think I'll start with just 2 little nests of my fresh guitar. Because it's going to cook really quick. So I'm going to do it quickly. And I'm stirring right
Just
away.
yeeted
as
it.
I
There's part of
burn
it's
my
not
left
even in the
hand.
pan.
When we finally put this dish together,
Just-
the eggs, the cheese, the pasta water, the fat is all going to emulsify into this glorious creamy sauce.
I'm going to put the pasta right in. It only took a couple minutes, guys.
Yes,
it's okay
fresh
if I use
pasta
it, have a
takes
little
like
bit of
2
water
minutes.
here because I'm going to add water, as a matter of fact.
I saved my pan that has all that nice bacon fat in it and try and even everything out. I want the pasta to be evenly dispersed so that when I cut into it, there's not just a super eggy part with no pasta. My pan was nice and hot, it's bubbling away. I'm going to get a nice crispy brown bottom. Let's get in the oven.
Let us throw our guanciale in and our rendered oil. Lovely, lovely. I'm just going to hold it and let it drip. I'm using all of it.
In case our sauce is a little too thick, we want to take a little of that seasoned pasta water and put it in just to make our sauce creamy.
Ooh, it's getting creamy.
It doesn't get better as it sits, so make sure your guests are ready to eat. I don't want any lumpy, dry, cold pasta.
Chihuahua carbonara.
Chihuahua
It's been about
carbonara.
20
That's a new
minutes. You can see that it's nice and bubbly and brown and crunchy on top. We want to let this set for about 10 minutes before we cut into it so it's not a sloppy mess. I'm going to stand here intently staring at the pasta frittata until it's done.
Don't care, you put peas in it. It's ruined.
It is that time to play, guys. Oh my gosh. Ay, caramba. Sorry.
I'm going to do the old surgeon style cut. Drum roll, please. Look at that. Look, oh my gosh, I'm so happy about this. The back is nice and crunchy. The pasta and the egg is holding everything together. The cream and everything got into the rigatoni. I'm going to say this is a winner before I even finish it.
I'll clean it up in a minute. Pepper. I like adding pepper.
I'm gonna have
And
to make
then,
this the
oh
last
my
one. We're
gosh,
getting, like,
why not?
bad.
More cheese.
We're going to take that black pepper cream and we're going to make a quenelle. I was taught the 2-spoon method. Shake them off. Get your cream.
He likes spooning.
And just kind of go and make your football shape. Just a little dollop right there.
Last but not least, let's make this ultra fancier and finish with some delicious, beautiful extra virgin
Stop
olive
with the
oil.
fucking
Take some
olive
of our
oil
nice
on me.
crunchy
Stop.
cheese, and then some of our nice dried out peas. And there you have it, carbonara frittata. I bet Lorenzo did just fine. It's getting harder and harder to stump him lately.
So this is my take on Chef Frank's pasta carbonara. From the beautiful ingredients that were used, I don't think I could mess this up. Yeah, I'm curious what he did with my ingredients though.
Buddy,
What's
good seeing you. It's been so long.
Frank!
Whoa.
Wow! Wow, you are too fancy, man. What did you do?
Frittata carbonara.
I just want to try it. Is it okay I try it?
Yeah, try it. I'm not even going to use the knife. I'm just going to dig in because I'm a
I
savage.
just want to...
Get it in your mouth, dude.
That's fantastic. It does taste like you're eating carbonara in a different form of a bite.
It has all the elements. Has the flavor. Black pepper cream.
Yeah.
Steep some black pepper in heavy cream. Like a tea. Let it cool. Strain it out. Whip it up.
You're good, man. You want to try mine?
Let's try yours,
All right.
please. This looks creamy.
Yeah.
The bacon is cut the right size. I want it to be like a nice meaty bite. I was never afraid that this would be too much of a challenge for you. It's going to be a big bite.
Yeah. I'm going to just... Okay,
Do it.
Yep.
Okay.
That pork.
So, the weather has screwed up everything, of course it has, because I finally did stream, and the weather is against me. So, sorry about the pause. I will continue doing the recording, though, so I can finish this up as I promised. Or actually, we both know they're going to be like, it's delicious, and I think yours is delicious, and this is fantastic. So we'll just leave it at that, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.